research, editors, people that you can edit that out. Welcome back. Hashtag Ask Pitch Anything. Pulled a great question off of the list today, and this is from Dorsent. And the question is, do you have any plans for another book? And two questions. Do you have any book suggestions, things you would suggest other people read? So I'll take down the first one. Yeah, we're going to do another book. I'm going to do another book. But you got to recognize, to write a real, most books suck. Why? Because people try and write them on the weekend, at night, put a little effort here and there, then it becomes due, and in 60 days they try and write a whole book. That's why if you read a book, the first two chapters are usually great. This is really interesting. The rest of the book falls apart because they didn't put in the time. So when I wrote my book, it took a full year off, the whole time. It probably cost $250,000 to write that book. Research, editors, people to help with the writing, taking all day and all night off, travel. It takes a long time to write a real book. Write it well, research it, make sure it's sound, test it, and make multiple changes. That takes a long time. So let's let this first book hang out for a little bit. Yes, I'll write a second book when it's time, and have a year off to do nothing else. Second question was any other book suggestions. I have 3 suggestions. One is Touching the Void by Joe Simpson. I know we should not be recommending books with the word touching in the title, but it's not what you think. It's about a climber whose rope gets cut, falls off a cliff, and the rest of the story is very interesting. If he can do that, you can do whatever it is that you're working on. The second book I recommend is, you may have read it already, but reread it, Purple Cow by Seth Godin. I know that's an easy choice. Seth is sort of a go-to guy, but that's one book he wrote that I admire, I think is good. The third book that I think you should definitely be reading, of course, How to Avoid Large Ships. Can you flash that up on the screen? It's a great book, How to Avoid Large Ships. It's the cover says it all. And the fourth book that I really think you should read is the cover of the Wall Street Journal every day. If you're not reading that thing, you're not reading what's contemporary, and you're missing out on half the information in the economy. Read the front page of the Wall Street Journal. Those are the 4 books. See you next time. This has been hashtag Ask Pitch Anything. Fit in that change. Start off with that. And then explain the problem that you solve and why that's a hard problem to solve. If you can start your pitch that way, then the rest of it will flow naturally, and pro will really mean pro in your name.